Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we're doing 2001's The Order. Before we get started, if you want to follow the show on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, you could follow us at Kiss the Reviews. And let's get into the cast of 2001's The Order. This film stars Jean-Claude Van Damme as Rudy, Sofia Milos as Dalia, Charlton Heston as Professor Finley, and Brian Thompson as Cyrus.
It must be nice to be an actor like Charlton Heston. I mean, not anymore because he's fucking dead, but it must have been nice to be Charlton Heston where you're like, yeah, I'll be in your movie for about 5 minutes and still get third billing in the credits.
You were correct.
I gotta read this. And again, I don't know where a lot of these IMDb descriptions come from. I don't know if it's like Wikipedia where like randos just go on and write shit, or how IMDb is like, yes, we're going to use this description as the description for this film. But this one is just a kind of a long run-on sentence, and I just found it hilarious. But the IMDb description for this movie is: a playboy criminal contacts his dad after stealing a Faberge egg. Later, it seems his dad has gone missing in Israel, so he heads there. His disappearance is linked to the religious sect, The Order. Lots of fight and chase scenes. I mean, it's pretty spot on. And as soon as I read, because I don't remember this movie at all, I don't think I'd ever seen this movie. But as soon as I read that, like, oh, he's a playboy criminal, I was like, that tracks. And he stole a Faberge egg, because of course he stole a Faberge egg.
Why wouldn't you?
I got an idea. I steal a Faberge egg, and then my father goes missing.
I just saw this great movie. It was called Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, we've done however many Van Damme movies. Thanks, Damien, for all the requests. But it's been his brother, his mother, his cousin, his identical twin, and now we got to the father. So the father finally gets kidnapped, and he's got to find his dad. So,
and Armando's Catholicism feels whole again. We got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. We're all good. That was an official blessing. You just blessed all of YouTube.
I did.
He's Italian. It's real. It's real.
And you're welcome. So, with that said, let's get into this movie. This ridiculous movie. So, the movie kicks off with this ridiculously long voiceover about medieval times in Jerusalem and in the Middle East, and medieval times, the period, not the restaurant. But
I wish it was about the restaurant.
It would have been more fun if it was the restaurant.
And you want to talk about a run-on sentence? Like, Jesus Christ, dude, wrap it the fuck up. The Crusades started, and then we took the places, and then the Crusades went to just Jerusalem, and we're like, no, Muslims, we're going to do this. And then we killed people, and then one guy saw the dead people and was like, I don't like dead people. So what will we do? We're going to start our own religion with no dead people. But then the other religion killed us because now we're dead people. The end. Start movie.
We wrote scrolls.
Out of here.
And the scrolls were lost. They're right over there.
Yeah, just one. It's one scroll that's also a run-on sentence.
We then cut to the Ukraine, because of course we do. And it's JCVD planning to steal the Faberge egg. And after an abrupt cut, we see JCVD in black and blue face, because apparently he just left a Carolina Panthers game. So he's going to go steal this Faberge egg. And after he gets caught, we get a fart joke, and then he kicks some ass, and then he gets away.
Was that the gunshot?
No, I fought it.
One, the fart joke was actually kind of funny.
Oh, the fart joke landed.
Because it's a fart joke. So why
Yes.
wouldn't it be funny? And two, it was really great to see somebody doing karate again in a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It's a
Yes.
lot of fun, and I felt more safe and at home.
Although we kind of talked about it before we started recording, I thought I was going to get Karate Priest, but I was just happy with some Kia during this movie. And that's the one thing we did get during this movie was Kia all the way through. So there's the one positive. We then jump cut from here to New York, where Rudy goes to see his dad at like a museum. And his dad wants to meet up that night, and it has to be tonight. But JCVD has business to attend to at a strip club to sell the Faberge egg.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, tough Playboy criminals. Uncle Corey here. It's cool you stole a Faberge egg, but your dad is like adorable. Just see him when he asks to see you that night.
That's it.
What the hell's the matter with you? Your dad's adorable, and he's like 108. He's about to go. Spend some fucking time with your old man.
It's happening soon.
Yeah, they'll still buy your egg.
Yeah. But we get another horrible cut to JCVD selling this Faberge egg in this strip club, and the dudes are trying to steal it, and JCVD fights to get it back, but then he gets arrested, and then there's this weird scene in the jail where the cop comes up, and apparently him and JCVD know each other because there's like this, there's no context, but they seem like they know each other. And he's like, hey, and the scrolls are missing from your dad's thing, and here's the broken case. And JCVD's like, dude, my dad had the key. Why would he break it? Well, we can't find him. So, I mean, he's not a suspect, but we need to talk. Like, this whole scene was just like, dude, I don't even know what the fuck is going on here.
This was a writer went to a toilet and took an exposition dump for about 15 minutes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then he gets a call from his dad because he gets released from prison. Like, I don't know what happens here. Like, he's just in jail and then he gets released. His dad calls him from Jerusalem. And then he goes to help his dad out. And he's met by Professor Finley, Charlton Heston, his dad's friend. And then after he tells JCVD what's going on, they get chased by some dudes who took his father until he like flips their car, fights the guys, and then Finley gets shot and died. And this, I guarantee you, because Charlton Heston probably filmed for about an afternoon. And as soon as he got shot, he was like, all right, is that all you need from me? Thank God. This is what a fucking horrible movie.
Yeah, I take it a different way. He was supposed to be the sidekick the entire movie. And he got there and filmed for about 20 minutes and was like, hey, director, kid, come here. You're going to shoot me in the fucking chest. I don't care if it's with a real gun, but I'm done.
JCVD gets taken into custody by like the Israeli police and placed under house arrest. He's ordered to stay in his hotel room until they finish the investigation into Finley's death. But he can't listen, so he escapes to go find his father. I got a couple of things here because there's literally a flipped car, another car that ran into it, which is JCVD's. They've already seen him at customs. They know he's in the country. They know who picks him up. And then you have two guys who, like, there's witnesses abound. They literally had a karate fight in a fountain. And because JCVD's like, oh my God, my father's friend, he's got shot. And they're like, you shot him. And he's like, no, that didn't happen. They're like, cool. You're under house arrest. Go to this hotel and just stay there for a while until we're done with the investigation.
Yeah, this pretty much gives it away that the police chief or major or whatever he is corrupt as shit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just such a weird way to go about this. Like, whole scenario for the cops. And it's just like, oh, you're in on it. Moving on.
Yes.
It's just right there. And what kept distracting me was the fact that when she works for TSA by day, she's wearing her uniform appropriately. But then when she's just a cop by night, guess what she's doing?
She's
unbuttoning her blouse down to the fucking cleavage for the rest of the fucking movie.
Hell yes.
I'm going to unbutton 17 buttons down to my navel. You're under arrest. No, I'm not.
All of a sudden, my hair is down. I do not wear a hat like the rest of the police. Nor must I button my shirt.
JCVD finds the one scroll with like the map on it that everyone is looking for. He calls his buddy Yuri from the beginning and disguises himself as like a rabbi so they can meet up. And then the cops see him and then they give chase. And literally after a day-long chase and fighting, JCVD gets caught again, and they demand that he be sent back home.
This is one of those things in movies that's just so unbelievably unrealistic. Because he's like, my father is missing. You do not care about me. You cannot send me home. And she's like, no, you want to try some hummus? And he's like, sure, this hummus is good. All is forgiven. Fuck you and your hummus. My father's missing, bitch. What the fuck are we doing here?
Well, and they have this whole long conversation. She was like, have you ever tried hummus before? It's 2001. Of course I've tried fucking hummus. It's goddamn delicious.
It's in Kroger in Iowa. Yeah, everyone's tried hummus.
You were correct.
I found this new thing in New York. It's called pizza. Have you ever heard of a Sbarro?
So we get a cutaway to the order. They're conducting like the ceremony. This is where we meet Cyrus, who blows up like the order's leader's car to apparently take over the order.
And I have to say, real quick, I'm so sorry. I have to say, Cyrus, going back to the 80s, the actor that plays that dude is such a great bad guy.
Brian
Every
Thompson
time he shows
is awesome.
up, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go.
I think in every movie, and we might have brought it up because I know we did another movie he was in, I just want him clinging axes together in every movie. I don't give a shit. I don't care if he's like doing taxes in the movie. He's like clinking axes and he's like, you owe $3,400 in federal. Like that's what he should do.
Oh shit, Craig, how we gonna get that money? When he was in Cobra with Sly,
yes,
I swear to Christ, I had nightmares about that dude and that woman for like a week.
Absolutely. And
I was so happy to see him on the screen.
He's literally one of my favorites, and you know he's in a few movies where he plays the bad guy, and he does a really great job at it. And again, he's fucking terrifying. And the only thing more terrifying than him in Cobra is him as the leader of this like religious sect.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
I wish they spent more time on him in this movie.
I'm going to keep it a buck. The only thing more terrifying than that dude in Cobra is Mike Tyson telling you he's going to fuck you until you love him. But yeah, the religious sect guy was scary as fuck too.
This is where we get the hummus scene at the airport with Dalia and JCVD. They share some hummus. JCVD talks about how much he loves his Faberge, and they get him on the plane, but Major Fuckface calls Dalia to tell her to bring JCVD back because he's trying to smuggle an artifact. And this is where we get another like, hey, this is not kosher. And you know that. And I'm being serious. No joke here.
Something is not kosher here. I'm not trying to be funny, okay?
Good job. Good job, JCVD. I see what you did there. By
the way, it's no pun intended, dickhead.
Dalia here, recognizing that, you know, something's a little off, she decides to help him escape the plane. He gets away, and she meets back up with him and admits that she was part of the order, but she left. This is where her wardrobe completely malfunctions. Now her hair is completely down.
Oh.
She's unbuttoned down to her navel, and she was like, I used to be part of the order, but then I left when I was 18, and I totally want to help you. And like, fucking Dalia, settle down. Like,
she like Puts her hands on her back. That fucking running, huh? That chase was a lot. Oh no, my shirt got snagged on some brush. Running all that time, I'm so sleepy now.
So JCVD did have a writing credit in here.
And this
And this was it. He was like, well, in this scene, she needs to down to the navel and she needs to stretch like this to show me that she wants to help me in more ways than one.
I'm not trying to be funny, okay?
You see, my character has only thought of her thus far as a police. But now I see she is a woman because her breasts are exposed. And that makes woman, yes, huh?
So JCVD and Dalia here then go to see Yuri. Yuri gets shot when masked men come to steal the scroll that he has. And we get another car/motorcycle chase. JCVD gets the scroll back, but he gets shot in the process. And Dalia takes him to the middle of nowhere to a friend of hers that's still in the order, where JCVD gets some time to recover from his wounds. And he also reads his father's manuscript about the scrolls here. And this is where...
This is the movie. This is where I was falling asleep and like, Jesus Christ.
Dude,
why are we still doing a movie at this point?
Dude, I was so confused. Like, we could talk about we've talked about like directing and writing and all of this stuff. I don't know who did the final edit on this movie, but at this point in the movie, I was so motherfucking confused. I'm like, well, there's the scrolls from the beginning, but then there's this one separate scroll with the map on it. And his dad, like, I'm like, why didn't they just steal the scroll? Like, why do they have to have his dad in a prison in like the catacombs? Like this, I was so ultimately confused. The jump cuts, I think I told you before we record, like this whole movie should have been called Non Sequitur. It was like 10 different movies that they just jump cut into like 1 hour and a half long movie.
Yeah, we're at fucking St. Peter's goddamn desert hut for about 20 minutes with just random like shots of St. Peter pressing his dick into Dalia's butt and then like watching Rudy karate on a fucking desert plateau whilst reading a scroll. And then he like breaks into the splits and he contacts God and then he has a key and he finds on the map where One-Eyed Willie hid the treasure. I don't know what's happening. I'm lost.
For some reason, at one point, he was like, "Arg, now I be knowing where the treasure is." Like, I was like, "Aren't you looking for your dad?" "Yes, I mean, I'm looking for my father, too."
And for some reason, the orders put his dad up in the same hotel he was in house arrest under. Like, he's the most comfortable prisoner ever. Totally fine.
And by the way, so this is where they come up with the plan. Like, hey, we're going to disguise you, JCVD, as a member of the order. We got some extra robes. Throw these robes on, right? Fucking cool and cool. We're going to sneak you in. But we're also going to sneak Dalia in for no fucking reason. She left the order. She didn't leave the order when she was 5. She left when she was 18. She's now like 24. What do we, like, they know what she looks like. They know she left the order, but like, we're going to sneak her into, fine, I guess. They won't recognize that. And we're going to say, he's from out of town. He's just on a pilgrimage. I thought the order was like 100 fucking people in Jerusalem that kind of created their own thing. I'm pretty sure if there's other people around, they know exactly who they are, okay?
Cyrus, right? Bob Johnson, Kenosha, Wisconsin. How are you? How are you? I'm a speaker salesman. I'm just on a bit of a pilgrimage. You know, had to get away from the old wife and kid and re-find my Jesus.
We're from the Columbus, Ohio sect of the order. We're just here. We wanted to come to see the temple and be there for your inauguration or your coronation into like as the leader of the order, and like
we're repping Theta. We're repping the Theta branch of the order.
Why is Columbus short there now? And he's like, "Hey Cyrus, we're repping that Theta."
Jesus in this house.
This would have been a better movie if Columbus Short was in it. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Every movie would have been a better movie. If Columbus Short and Kim Whitley were in every movie, we would have no job because it'd all just be like thumbs up.
But they get to the catacombs here, right? And JCVD finds his daddy during Cyrus's coronation. Immediately, he takes off his robes as soon as he gets down there for some reason. And this is where he finds his dad all locked up. And he gets caught by, the police chief, Major Fuckface. And JCVD finds out that the order is going to blow up all the Muslims during Ramadan to start this holy war.
Holy shit. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
You mentioned him taking off his robes, and I think it's because he knows he's proper fucked right off the jump. Because a dude, as soon as they walk in, they walk up these stairs, he's got his head down. Cyrus starts talking, and he picks his head up. And a dude, runs up next to Cyrus, and literally is like, that's him! And Cyrus like, hey, Rudy, how are you? Your dad's down that hallway. And he's like, let's sneak around. I think we could get away.
There's a big sign that says JCVD's daddy, with an arrow pointing down.
Not Sean Connery pointing down.
I think my father's down here.
Is that what Arizona Rudy's papayas?
My favorite part of this is he sees his dad, right? And his dad's like, oh, look over there. They're in the catacombs. And there's just this random four-wheeler, in the catacombs with this little, trailer hitched to it. And he was like, oh, they're trying to do some things. And by the way, his dad has, a very, Jewish accent. And JCVD has a very obviously French accent. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure JCVD was adopted. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. He sees.
I like to think that JCVD is really attempting to do a Jewish accent here.
I'm not trying to be funny, okay?
So he sees the four-wheeler. He takes the sheet off the four-wheeler, and he looks at his dad and he goes, this looks like a. And then the police chief comes in. He is like, a bomb?
This looks like a
bomb?
I was so distracted because when I saw the four-wheeler, I'm like, they got rednecks in Jerusalem? That's crazy. It really is a small world.
They're in Jerusalem, and the only person with a Jewish accent is JCVD's dad. Nobody in the order has this Jewish accent. Or none of them are even trying to attempt it, at all.
Not even remotely close. Hey, Ari, man, I'm gonna go jump the Wailing Wall, bro. You wanna come watch me? It's got this sweet ATV.
They then let JCVD's dad out of the jail cell. They follow this map underground to plant this bomb. Along the way, they find hidden treasure and artifacts and booby traps aplenty. Not aplenty. There's one. There's one booby trap. And that's it. And they're like, all of a sudden they're just like, oh my God, everybody's French now. Oh my God, there's a hole in the thing. And how are we going to get, and they're like, get these boards off the what? What boards are you finding that are in the rafters of this dug tunnel?
Ancient tunnel.
And I'm pretty sure if they're up there, they're there for a reason.
Yeah, much like this giant plot hole opening up was foreshadowing for what was going. It's just like, come on.
Yeah, this, and then when we see the hidden treasure and artifacts thing, this is where we get the greed standoff. We need to be rich. No, we need to blow up Muslims. Okay.
And Dick Cheney pops up and goes, can't we do the both, guys?
So we have the standoff. Dalia and JCVD's dad, they all run away. Dalia kills Major Dickface here. JCVD kills one of Cyrus's priests. They then circle back to get Cyrus and, maybe defuse this bomb, even though nobody knows how to defuse a bomb. My favorite part, okay? We get the fight between JCVD and Cyrus here, all right? JCVD kills Cyrus with, and I don't care what movie you're in. I know this is a terrible movie, but anytime like there's a guy like in the air, like, oh, and you got your back to him and you give him the old like sword backwards through the fucking sternum, that's always a great kill in any fight. Don't care what you're talking about here. Like this was just a dope kill. But then JCVD runs to the bomb and he kneels down next to it like he's gonna defuse it. Dude, all you do is steal shit. You're not defusing bombs. He looks at it for all of 2 seconds. He's like, oh, fuck this. Like, and then he just takes the thing and he starts running with it like, oh, I remember that hole from the one booby trap that was there. And then he goes to shove it down the hole. I gotta think. There's a lot of explosives on that little sled that the redneck four-wheeler's dragging behind it. That whole cave tunnel system, that's all caving in. This isn't like The Golden Child, where Eddie Murphy flips the quarter and you never hear it fall, like you never hear it land. It's not a bottomless pit.
I beg to differ because there's a scene where JCVD is deflecting the sword attack with a candle holder. He's got like this giant candle holder and he's blocking, and then it gets flipped out of his hand and you never hear it land. Dead ass serious. You never hear it. I think this whole thing is just a giant fucking pit. Here's my question, because, you know, I'm an American, so it's like, yeah, we're going to blow up Muslims on Ramadan. I'm like, all right, that tracks. but
especially in 2001.
Yeah,
I'm surprised this movie wasn't bigger.
I'm surprised Toby Keith wasn't the priest. But they're also like, it's the temple is right above that they're gonna blow up. The mosque is right above what do you say, the Well of Souls.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where they have to place the bomb. How did you weigh that one on the scales with God? You know what I mean? Kind of an important part of the whole religious experiment. And I don't know, you're rat fucking it pretty hard with a shitload of C4.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, like, what was your expectation? Like, dude, you blew up the Well of Souls, but I killed so many Muslims. Like, even Stevens?
He was doing a cost-benefit analysis.
Yeah, exactly.
Muslims,
he's got a pro
Well of Souls.
In his cave, he's just writing with rocks and shit.
JCVD saves the day here, even though we get the surprise Major Dickhole who's like, I'm not dead, so I'm still going to come after you. And JCVD throws him down the well. So it's like him and baby Jessica and a bomb just like down in the well. And JCVD saves the day. The bomb goes off. Cut back to America where JCVD's dad, he's signing his book, The Order, his new book. Why in every JCVD movie is the book, there's a book that's written that is the name of the movie that he's in? This is like the third movie that he's done like that.
Yeah, I think, like, I write a lot of books about soldiers because I can never be a soldier. Yes. And I'm envious of their abilities, right? I think that's how JCVD feels about books. It's like, I can never read one of these. I am so envious.
Well, and then this is where I think this is the prequel to National Treasure, because there's like another map in his dad's office, and he's like, oh, don't touch that. It's a new map to riches and treasures. So JCVD steals it, and the movie ends as him and Dalia run away, and then freeze frame. And then Lee Greenwood comes out, and he's like, proud to be an American. And that's how the movie ends.
He saved religion for everyone, and Arizona Rudy is on to his next big adventure.
And everybody could be a Christian forever again.
The Chronicles of Rhode Island Rudy begin.
Rhode Island Rudy saves Christmas.
Pretty much. The 7 cities of gold? Tell me more. Are you 6? Everyone's heard that fucking story.
Oh my god.
And how does his dad keep just randomly finding all these like super maps? So stupid. I love it. That being said, I so wish they made this a series because I would watch all of these terrible movies. They're so bad. It's funny. This was one of the first ones that was so fucking stupid. I was laughing.
I watched this with my wife. And again, going back to the editing of it all.
Did you make her watch it through a hole in a sheet?
every jump cut. I did this. I was like, and back at the screen, and every time I looked at her, she looked at me like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I'm not even following it. I just hope there's more karate. And there was. I mean, the only thing, we said it in the last JCVD movie where there was no karate. Like, you could literally just have wall-to-wall karate with no plot. Everything's like just all over the place, which is literally what this was. He goes there, he kicks some ass. There's a car chase. He kicks some more ass. Kia, scrolls. Kia, gold. End credits. Like, that's what this movie was. It was awful. The plot sucked. It was hard to follow. The editing was terrible. Like, there's so many bad things about this movie, but I would watch this movie again because it was that bad where I was crying laughing throughout.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, dude, like, we've brought up, this is such an Indiana Jones ripoff. It's not even funny.
Oh, yeah.
And you brought up National Treasure because I had that thought too, which I think this is where Michael Bay was like, hey, hot actress, stop washing my car and hold my beer. And then he wrote National Treasure. That's how that all happened.
That's fair.
That being said, though, this is just...
Well, it's terrible. This is awful.
I don't devalue JCVD's place in film history in any way. But his movies are not made for adults with rational thought.
No.
They're not. They're just fucking not. Like, if I'm cleaning the house and I put on a JCVD movie, I'm going to be like, yo, that movie was so good. I totally forgot about it. Because I'm going to catch maybe 20 minutes of it. And it's probably going to be the fights I stick around for, right?
Yep.
It's just so many of his movies. Like, if you're like, oh, I want to sit down and watch a film tonight. Jesus Christ. Like, it doesn't have to be Black Swan. We've said this a million times. It doesn't have to be Gone with the Wind. It doesn't have to be any of these epic movies that everybody universally loves for it to be considered good.
Yep.
But honestly, like, when Martin Scorsese's like, fucking Marvel movies are bullshit roller coaster rides. What is this? What is this supposed to be then?
This is a serious movie about the love between a father and a son, and maps and treasures and things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, dude. This movie's terrible. I really don't have anything else to say. Do you have anything else for this one?
No.
All right. We'll end it there. For Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 2001's The Order.